So yeah, when I worked at GameStop, the manager was this guy Bill. Who did I already tell this story or no?
I don't think so.
Oh man. So Bill would just hear people say things and then repeat them like the Big Lebowski without understanding what they meant.
Mm-hmm.
And like one time he was like, "Yeah, I'm planning on I want to put these games here, but then Forte these other games above them." He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "You just guessed completely." He's like, "No context cues." Yeah, it
does sound
right.
pretty good. Forte it.
Yeah. Yeah, one time he was like, he was using the word preface wrong, like a bunch. Kept saying preface incorrectly. One time he just shit his pants.
I know that. I was going to ask you about that. I remember you told me that story. What happened for that again?
He fucking, I came into work. First of all, this dude lived in Bel Air, and the store was
Bel
in
Air, Maryland, for the
and
listeners.
the store was in Rockville.
Which, that's a 2-hour drive.
That's
if you're lucky.
far.
If you're lucky, it's 2 hours.
It's a 2-hour drive, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's basically DC.
Yeah, he would drive all the way down every morning and work bell to bell every day. He wasn't an hour. He was a salaried employee.
Right.
He was a manager, so he got his like $20,000 a year to manage the GameStop. And so he didn't have to be there, but he would work 73-hour weeks. And I remember asking him one time, I'm like, "Bill, why do you do that?" And he was like, "Well, I'll tell you what. It impresses the district managers are all pleased with me. All of the area managers are pleased with me, and that's the kind of thing that's important for moving up." And it's like, "Bill, you don't have a college degree. You're never going to move past store manager.
Right.
They don't hire store managers as like district managers.
Right.
You're done. You got to the top." I
don't
know
think GameStop would let him if he beat Zelda fast enough be a district manager.
Yeah, that's how it works. He also told me, he's like, "I also do loss prevention for the district," which was a lie. That like, they don't have that. I don't think they don't have a guy that just does loss prevention. And then that store, I told you that story. That store got robbed one time. Or it didn't get robbed. They had this like A-frame with all like Game Boy games in it. And this is already like, I don't know. This is probably like 2007. So Game Boy was
really on its last legs.
It was done.
Yeah.
So the games cost, like, if you wanted to buy them, they were maybe like $3 a piece.
Yeah.
And the trade-in value was nothing. So the entirety of this case was worth maybe like, $4 worth of merchandise. Adam got the mouse and he's putting it in his pocket, maybe to sell later at the market.
Listen,
the market temple.
You don't know how much these go for these days.
Watch it with the fucking wires.
I'm gonna put the mic down, throw it out real quick.
Okay, all right. Tell the story. I want to hear this fucking. So Game Boy A-frame full of Game Boys.
Yeah. So fuck, I should have drank some coffee.
No, it's fine, dude.
This is a good story. I'm fucking it up.
It's Adam's fault for getting the mouse.
It's just
it was distracting me.
To make a yarmulke.
It was distracting everybody. There's a fucking dead mouse on the floor.
I can't see it because it's blocked by the table.
It was really distracting.
I don't think
we really have to call an exterminator for the Anthony Cumia Studios.
Yeah,
it's fucking.
And he got in a little bit of trouble calling exterminators. They told him we don't do black guys and just please stop calling.
Yep.
So he actually can't do business with any of the companies in New York City.
He called every single exterminator in New York and asked them to exterminate.
How you get rid of these fucking people? I'm sure you can find
one. In New York?
Yeah.
It's a big city.
Yeah, I'll do it. I got a guy for
How
that.
How big is he?
Yeah. Oh, you said he was a rat, wink, wink. No problem. He just murders the guy in broad daylight. Just goes to jail. Now I'll be seeing about that $25 you owe me, pal. Yeah, so this case with like these Game Boy games in it was worth like nothing.
Yeah.
Somebody had that it had glass sliding doors in the front, but they kind of with those like those locks with the teeth.
Yeah, right.
With all the somebody found that you could like wiggle them on the sides just enough to like steal like the sides of so they stole like 10 Game Boy games off the side, and I like just noticed it. And I told the assistant manager John, who was like 34 and wore like an Indiana Jones hat and it's just like shitty facial hair and like this like shitty stringy long hair. And I told John and Bill, and I thought they'd just be like, "Oh, okay." And they both come over and they're like, crossing their arms and like huffing and puffing, and they're like, oh, damn it. You know? And John's looking at it, and he looks at Bill, and he's like, this was probably a professional thief.
No, dude.
Yeah. The fucking Ocean's 11
Daddy
came in
Ocean.
here and stole your fucking Game Boy games.
He stole Dr. Mario for Game Boy.
Yeah. That
That
shit
game
was
sucked.
that shit was so fucking funny.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, Bill shit his pants one time. I like went into the store and I had to like open with him. This is like the morning. I'm tired as shit. Like I don't really want to be there.
Yeah, of course.
And I go in, and Bill's like, would you mind setting that up over there for me? Thanks. And he like turns around and walks back to the counter. And as soon as he turns around, I notice like on his ass, there's like shit splattered on the back of his pants.
Oh no!
Not like on. There's like brown like shit splatter. Right. But it didn't make sense because if you shit your pants, you shit on the other side.
Right.
So I don't know. He somehow shit on the back of his pants, and
it just seeped through.
No, I'm assuming he had like diarrhea or something, and like was rushing to pull his pants down and shit on he shit on the back of them while like trying to sit down and shit.
Interesting. Okay.
So I was like, great, this is fantastic. And so as other like employees were coming into the store that day, I'd be like, oh, yeah, hey Jeremy, how was your weekend? Oh, by the way, Bill shit his pants. If you want to take a look, you can see he shit his pants. I like called my friend Matt, and because like I'd made fun of that guy so much.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, no way, he shit his pants. I was like, yeah, he shit his pants. And then like 2 hours later, I was just like stocking the shelves or something, and I just hear from behind me my friend Matt's voice, and he's like, can I tell him? I'm like, man, I had to come to the store to see it. He's like, can I tell him he shit his pants? Yeah, that dude ran over a child on his way to work one morning.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He got to work like 20 minutes late, and he's like,
that's it?
Sorry I'm late. And maybe it was a little bit longer than that. He's like, sorry I'm late. He's like, skidded on the ice, and my car went into a 14-year-old girl, and she got hit up on the roof, but the police said it was her fault. She didn't have the right of way, so I was clear to come to work. And I was like, Bill, go home.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to be here.
You just hit a fucking child.
Yeah, he ran over a child on his way to GameStop. That day he shit his pants was the only day he actually left when his shift ended.
Yeah.
He was like, wow, 3 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm beat. I'm ready to go.
What is that? Oh man, I wonder what that guy's up to now.
I don't know. He told me about like when I am interviewed for the job. Mm-hmm. For some reason, he's like, "Well, I'll tell you a little bit about me." He was like, I was enlisted in the Army. After the Army, I worked at Suncoast Video and worked my way up to manager. And I was there for 17 years. And then I was like,
Jesus, how fucking old? But how old was he for real?
He was like probably like 37, 38.
Damn.
Yeah. But I don't understand why that was part of the interview process.
Yeah. He's just hoping
he just doesn't know how to. Yeah, doesn't know how to interview. Imagine that, working at a Suncoast Video. What a depressing store.
We never had those. We just had Blockbuster and Hollywood Video.
Suncoast Video wasn't a rental place.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was a video retailer.
Oh,
they sold
just
like
sell
they sold
camcorders and tapes?
No, they sold like